Welcome to my presentation. In this presentation, we shall see how to convert fractions to decimals. So let's take an example here. And in this example, we want to convert a mixed number, 1, 5 over 6, to a decimal number. So let us follow this following steps to be able to arrive at the answer. First things, we want to convert the mixed number into an improper fraction. 1, 5 over 6 is a mixed number, and the way we want to convert that into an improper fraction is we take the denominator of the fraction, multiply to the number on the side, take the product of that, and then add it to the numerator of the fraction, and then divide that whole number by the denominator, which is equal to 6. So 6 times 1 is 6, plus 5 divided by 6. We are simplifying this the first step here. Then therefore 6 plus 5 is 11 divided by 6. So whenever the numerator is larger than the denominator, we call those types of fractions as improper fractions. So now we are ready to perform the division. So we take 11 and then we're going to divide that by 6. 11 is larger than 6, so therefore we're going to recall our 6 times table and then say 6 times what number is equal to or less than 11. 6 times 1 is 6, so 11 minus 6 is going to be equal to 5. So since we want to convert it into a decimal, so we're going to place a decimal point after the 11 and then add zeros after that. We're going to place a decimal point just above that decimal place in 11.0, and therefore now we're going to borrow the 0 and then repeat the process. Repeat the 6 times table process. 6 times what number is equal to or less than 50? 6 times 8 is 48, and when we subtract 48 from 50, we're going to get, we are left with 2, so we're going to borrow the next 0 there. So 6 times, we repeat the 6 times table. 6 times what number is equal to or less than 20? 6 times 3 is 18. When we subtract 18 from 20, we're left with 2, so we can add another 0, and when we borrow that, it's going to, then we're going to now say, repeat the 6 times table. 6 times what number is equal to or less than 20? 6 times 3 is 18, and as we can see that this process is going to repeat itself, and therefore we're going to then come back here in step number 3 and then state this as when we convert a mixed number 1, 5 over 6, we can convert that first into an improper fraction like 11 over 6, and we can convert that into this into a decimal number as follows: 1.833 recurring or repeating. So therefore 1.833 is where we want to leave it, and this is how we can convert a mixed number into a decimal format. Let's say we have another example of this kind. Let's say this time we want to convert, let's write it out here. We want to convert 7 over 12 to a decimal number. So we'll follow the same steps as we did in the previous example to be able to arrive at the answer. Step number 1. We take 7 is less than 12. The numerator is less than the denominator, so therefore it is a proper fraction. So 7 divided by 12. Since 7 is less than 12, we put a decimal point after the 7 and then add a 0 to that. We can add as many zeros as possible. Let's add 2 zeros for now. And then we're going to place a decimal place right above the decimal place in 7.0. And now we're going to perform the division as if we're performing division, long division with whole numbers. We take 70 as a number, and then we're going to repeat our 12 times tables to see if we can perform this operation. 12 times what number is equal to or less than 70? 12 times 5 is equal to 60. So we subtract 60 from 70, so we're left with 10. So 10 is still less than 10 is still less than 12, so we borrow the 0 from here, and then we repeat the process. 12 times what number is equal to or less than 100? 12 times 8 is 96. So we subtract 96 from 100, so we're left with 4, and therefore we add another 0 to in here, 7.000. So we borrow this 0 here now, this time. Now we repeat the process. We repeat our 12 times table. 12 times what number is equal to or less than 40? 12 times 3 is 36. When we subtract, we're left with 4, and therefore, as you can see, let me get this up. Yeah, if we add another 0 here and borrow it, we can write that 0 there. Then we going to recall our repeat our 12 times table. 12 times what number is equal to or less than 40? 12 times 3 is equal to 36, and therefore, as we can see, that 3 is going to repeat itself several times, so therefore we can state this one as follows. 7 over 12, a fraction 7 over 12 can be written out as 0.583 repeating, or 0.583 recurring, right? So therefore this is how we convert a fraction to a decimal number. In my next presentation, we shall see how to convert a decimal to a fraction, the other way around.